Greetings, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. It is day 22 and 23, so actually 20, a reverse number. Day 82 and 83, so actually today's 83, but I wasn't able to stream yesterday. I apologize to my community on Twitch. We had a scheduled stream yesterday, but I had to cancel as my blood pressure was a bit elevated yesterday. And yeah, I was definitely really out of it, so I didn't get the chance to just I left a short message on my Twitch stories, and hopefully the community was able to receive that. But yeah, I was really out of it and feeling a lot better, but still, I mean, just feeling a little tired and fatigued at the moment. So, but yeah, we'll say it was supposed to be yesterday, but we'll make it today. Today is kind of, you know, um, an announcement, I guess. So I know if any of you who've been following me since the start of the year, I think I started this challenge on January 5th, and we are almost near the end of this 90-day challenge. And yeah, I was hoping I am going to be doing another 90-day challenge, but the message may be here on out might be a little bit different as I yeah I'd had a conversation for a few people regarding the direction of the channel, or my messaging. And yeah, once again, I'll still be doing the 90-day challenge, but at most I will be doing it for myself. Those who have been following are more than welcome to join me on this challenge, but I probably won't be making it as public as I've been doing it for these last 83 days. And yeah, it's a tough one to decide, but at the same time, I have to kind of follow my North Star, I would love to say. And even though this is part of heading towards that direction, but like I said, there's two sides to things. The health side of things, and how would we say this without making it sound? Well, we'll go into the context. Is that part of, especially when I showed you guys my 3 MIQs. A lot of that. Let me pull it up here. A lot of those are related to helping the youth. Let me bring it up here on screen here. So yeah, a lot of it is in helping. Oops, is my screen on screen here? There we go. Helping the youth here, and as important as health is to our overall life and our quality of life, it's also important as well to just realize that um, our vehicles to get there. And definitely this was one part of the message of from last year as well, as I was just starting my journey here on the Twitch channel, and on something I've been doing since 2018, which is e-commerce. um, you know Yeah, it's just, man, this journey has been happening. Has definitely started like way back in 2001, and then starting a community back around 2010, 2011, when my eldest son was born, and I was taking leave of maternity or parental leave to look after him, and I at the same time started the community, and I just definitely kind of realized, if we're gonna live online, play online, why don't we also earn online, right? And this is pretty much where this has kind of been you know a journey, and something that kind of like a not a mission, but something like something that's been put on the shelf for almost 26 or so years, and now kind of touching upon that last year. And once again, there's a lot of things that happened last year, especially with my eldest son, and this is kind of as well passion for me to do this because of that experience, and you know having the youth focus on growth and their futures and stability, rather um, you know focusing on each other, right? To get ahead, and like just wanting to create this kind of environment, not only in the household but also in the school system, not the school system, but for the youth, right? Especially we'll say youth between 8 to 18 years old, right? Wanting to and trying to figure out how to give them the access to resources and entrepreneurship, just thinking in the way as an entrepreneur, right? And providing that atmosphere. And this is definitely quite a, I would like to say, a 180 from talking about holistic health and nutrition for the last 83 days. But like I said, health and wealth, which is the word I'm trying to find a way to say nicely, health and wealth goes hand in hand, right? What's the point in pursuing wealth if you're not on top of your health? And um, you know pursuing your health as well, it costs, it comes with a cost as well. So it's kind of this crazy cycle that the one needs the other, right? And once again, I spent these 3 months and then 2 months last year in the summer to stay on top of my health. And I think I achieved quite well, almost 30 pounds for the combination of the two challenges. But once again, there's still a long way to go, and I would love to say that I still have to lose about 40 plus pounds. But yeah, I mean, uh, it's something that it's gonna take time to to get to that goal, and hopefully get to that goal before the summer arrives, right? So, but yeah, it's all I can do at the moment is share that journey. But getting to a lot of this stuff on my list here, right? It's and being at 46 at the moment now, right? And having this dream to create a community, and helping them with or working together to find a way for everyone to earn and hang out and play games. And that was like the goal back in 2010, 2011. You know now that I'm a father and my kids are going to school, and definitely I want to support them and keep them safe. And this is like my thoughts and ideals to keeping them safe, is creating an environment that that instead of playing games, they're playing a different kind of game, and a game where they work together and think of big ideals to not only help themselves but help their community, help their parents, help just think of a bigger picture of just making a place they call home, right? A lot safer, a lot prosperous, and yeah, it just once again it takes a community or it takes a village to raise a child. And once again it takes a child to return the favor and help the next generation as well. So yes, it's once again it is our responsibility to look after our health. At the same time, if in order to you know hit a lot of goals, and um, yeah, it comes with a price as well. So and that's the thing, since last weekend, it's just been in this kind of um, turmoil within. I would love to say that. Um, will this? I mean, like I said, this is going to help you guys healthy, but is this going to provide a big impact as well? And that's the thing. It's like my messaging have been in the at the end of every stream. It's like raise your environment so that you can raise yourself and that you can be the impact for your own community. And all I can think, what bigger impact that one can make in their community is helping their community provide that that sort of like second income, second lifeline, however you want to call it, to help them just even just help them put food on the table, help them cover rent or their mortgage, or stay ahead of the bill payments, you know teach teach a person to fish, right? And not saying that I'm an expert in online businesses, but I've had my own e-commerce business on eBay since 2018 to like the end of 2023, until my office here, the ceiling collapsed on my equipment, and not a very it's a commercial vinyl cutting machine to cut out the decals out of vinyl rolls. And yeah, it's been really it's been a tough losing that income month after month. Welcome in, Hypersonic. So yeah, sorry, Hypersonic. My blood pressure was elevated yesterday, so I had to cancel. I just was really out of focus um, to start the stream. So I was hoping it would come down so I can stream. But yeah, yeah, I definitely didn't have the uh, the focus and energy to stream yesterday. But yeah, watching it. This is being streamed on three different platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But yeah, definitely I'm beside myself. Once again, I am both, right? I'm both in wanting to look after my health, my mental health, and that's where the coaching came along. At the same time, I'm on the other side of, I had my eBay business that definitely helped me go through um, the COVID time in 2020. Lost work for I got laid off or chose layoff for up to 2 months, and then next 2 to 3 months of 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 closure because everyone got sick at work from COVID. But imagine just losing your income for 4 to 5 months, and I obviously rents, mortgage was still due, credit card bills were due, and I think everyone had their own experience of going through COVID and the uncertainties of it. But at the same time, it opened opportunities, and yeah, a lot of people were stayed home, right? And a lot of people ordered yeah, from home, and that's where my eBay business was able to sustain me during those times with losing my work, right? And that's why I was passionate about the uh, e-commerce or having an online business, and because it got me through uncertainties. And once again, if you work for corporate, you work for a business, or right, you just never know when um they'll lay you off, and like, what's your backup plan, right? And that's why I'm kind of passionate about this as well, um because we shouldn't really rely once again, um especially with the food and nutrition, right? It's like, um you know um, they uh, throw out the messages and informations to, or you know nutrient less foods to trigger us and get us on their foods that are not really healthy for us, right? But at the same time, it's same here. We really can't rely on the place where we earn an income, or the government as well, to help us out. It is, once again, it is our responsibility to look after our health, and look after our finances as well. So it definitely, once again, just I had a conversation with a few people in my community, and it's like, I was just wondering if they think of which would they want to hear on the channel, like the health and nutrition stuff, or wanting to learn how to start their own online business. And I know that a lot of my members on Twitch are people who are doing 3D printing, right? And that's the thing. I thinking that 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 might be something that people might be interested in knowing and learning about. And definitely, especially this last weekend, attending an AI summit and just realizing that I've been using AI for the wrong, like I do looking for Google search, right? Instead of I can train AI to be different versions of myself, like you're creating a D&D character, right? It's still you're still acting out the D&D character, but at the same time there are different personas of something that you can't really act out in life, right? And so you create these different personas of you know of characters, and act them out. And definitely just finding out that you can create different AI assistants for various things, right? Imagine creating a persona, and I named them all coach, right? So let's just say we create a persona called Coach Charisma, right? And his responsibility is definitely, as it says there, to be able to, sound charming, interact with people, right? And then, creating a persona of, Coach Dexterity, movement and speed, and especially for myself for running, right? How to get faster, how to, and then obviously other stuff like coach intelligence, definitely responsible, and and different personas of that. One for the business side of things, one for staying on top of holistic health, and creating all these different AI assistants or coaches to help you and focus on different fields that are interesting for you. And obviously we're just one person, right? And certainly we can do try to gather all the information that we need, right? But at the same time it's just there's just um, you know if utilizing the tools to make it a lot faster for to have everything gathered in one spot, right? And think of it just using being at the library, but at the same time you have someone collecting all the books that is applicable to what you're looking for, right? And then once again cross-referencing that all the material is accurate and correct. That's still up to you. You can't really put AI as um, 100%. All it did is just gather the books and notes for you, and it's really still up to you to come to your conclusion with all that information, right? So this is what's the thing, right? We can have one side going to one information, and then the AI at the same time, another AI is looking into the health side of things as well. So definitely it was an interesting stuff, and definitely has opened a lot of things to, especially with uh, running stuff online, running a business online, and curating um, emails and certain things, or social media, right? It was definitely a fascinating thing. And at the same time I forged some relationships as well, and partnering up with few people to focus on this side of the HiveFit or Hive Life, or thinking of the names for that wealth side, right? Because I put the wealth side on hold for now to focus. I was gonna say focus this year on on HiveFit and staying healthy as much as I need to go on this journey for myself. But at the same time, realizing at the same time, it's like we can't put that other side, the wealth side, on hold until um, I'm healthy, and those who join me on this 90-day health challenge are healthy to build momentum. um, we definitely, it's still gonna be a process as well, right? So but yeah, definitely with the help of AI and a few people that I partnered with, I was putting it on hold, uh, just to focus on the health. But at the same time, it's like definitely, let's pivot into that realm again. So yeah, it was a tough. I spent this week just deciding if I need to change my messaging here on I haven't really gone full blown on the health. All I am doing right now is just having these wrap up streams at the end of the day. That might even change for for me to do it on in the morning instead, or after I come home from work, right? So there's been a lot of things that has been happening these last was so-called 10 days, 7 days, right? To just decide some changes into my life. I definitely want to be healthy for myself. At the same time, with my work being very slow at the moment, and at parts, um, a few of us, reduction in hours because of that slowness, and now it's just that's not even slowing down things at the moment. Now we have to lay off some people, and that is definitely a tough thing to do, to see coworkers having to be laid off. So, and sometimes I'm at one that wants to try to help as possible, but at the same time, I'm no situation to offer anything, and that's a tough thing, right? And that's another side that why I need to pivot as well to creating, reopening up my eBay business as well, and then promoting 3D printing stuff, and opening up, like I said, a lot of the members of my community come from the 3D printing space, right? From another wonderful streamer, Stephen Poole, who continues to you know support my stream, and have members on his channel come over, and people that I love and respect as well. And that's why I like putting, originally the plan was help new streamers, you know create a side income as they continue to um, build their channel, not having to wait to hit affiliate, not having to wait to hit 50 followers or average of three viewers per stream. So we'll love to say from day one they can start earning if putting in their own stuff, right? And that's the important thing, right? We're getting rated. Like, thank you so much. I am on a different platform right now. I'm not even on Twitch. I am streaming on three different platforms at the same time, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. But thank you so much, Scott, for the raid. I'm not even on OBS, so I don't get these notifications. But yeah, I am just, at the moment I'm beside myself in pivoting on my direction here on the channel and on, in life at the moment. And for since the start of the year, January 5th to like now, this is like 83 of my 90-day challenge. And so far, if we include last year, I've lost about 30 pounds, right? So it's been quite a journey, but at the same time, I still feel powerless to help anyone. And it's last year's been an emotional ride with with my eldest son not going to school since October 2024. um, and at the same time, a few streamers that I follow, who just going in, who are in a tough situation. It's like I can't, I feel powerless to help them as well. So that's why I'm kind of pivoting here into from health into the wealth side of things, of starting my starting reopening my eBay business again, and still having to build that from scratch. But at the same time, just being able to partner up with streamers, being able to partner up with makers, whether it's 3D printing, whether it's crocheting, or various skills. If you can make things up, you know make things your specialty, or rather even painting, right? And are able to ship that out, we can definitely create a wonderful collaboration from streamers who are looking for a second income, like providing merchandise and stuff to their community while they're growing their community. And at the same time, people who have products and services, who just looking for you know um, those communities, is definitely a wonderful way to marry the two, right? And so it's pretty awesome that I'm in both space with the 3D printing community, as well as the one game that I'm only playing the stream, which is Marbles on Stream. And there's a lot of people on Marbles on Stream who starts their Marbles journey streaming it, and you know they put in the long hours and whatnot to definitely find their space in the marble scene. But it, you know they are learning like everyone else that it's not really easy to stream it. Trying to get those grow your following, grow your 3.0 average viewers, right? It's not an easy thing. It's definitely takes consistency, but at the same time, as I always be, it does take consistency, but at the same time, are you practicing perfect consistency? Are you doing um, stuff that have made other people, those top streamers, successful, right? So there's one part of just logging in and hitting the stream button every day and hoping that people come in, and it's another part of or having a game plan set, and listening to your community, getting the feedbacks from your community, and doing your very best to implement it, right? So but yeah, definitely it takes time, and it's you definitely really need to go in it in realizing um, and stay consistent, not just wanting to. You got to enjoy the process, right? And that's the important thing as well, right? Even though you have times where it seems quiet, right? And You're just definitely sometimes where you're just wanting another one marble just to roll with you, right? That's probably those who stream marbles or started their their Twitch journey. Just having that one viewer, right? So, but yeah, I mean, definitely, it's been just kind of a self reflection for these last 10 days, and especially heading into my next 90-day challenge in starting April 6th. Um, I definitely just I've decided just I'll be still doing it for myself because I still have like 30 40 pounds to lose here, hoping to get that by the start of before before the summer, right? So trying to get my beach body right. So and want to get back into my running again. Before COVID happened, I was training for my fifth marathon, right? Which was supposed to be May of 2020, but we all know what happened in 2020. Started with the NBA, right? And once the NBA, closed off the season, that has started the movement of, it's irresponsible. NBA took the first initiative. It's irresponsible for all of these other national sports to to still run the league, and uh, so that's the thing. That was the start and the eye-opening situation for a lot of a lot of people, a lot of uh, the widespread shutdowns of things that happen, right? So, and obviously that my training, and I hired a coach to get me to the next level, because when I finished my fourth marathon, the goal was uh, to get under 4 hours, right? And I just barely got under 4 hours. So let's say I got a 3:57, but I didn't want to live life just barely making it, right? And just just getting under the cutoff, right? And so that's the thing. I invested on myself, and I got a run coach, and we were you know going through routines, and I was like running like around 4:30, 4:45 per kilometer pace. And then you know it was everything went on hold, right? So definitely everyone, I was training on myself, and everyone's physically distancing, right? And I was just training myself, was on my felt like I was on my A game on my running, and I was almost close to my goal that I set all the way back in 2013. I wanted to be, and when my second son was born in 2013, I was in the worst shape of my life. I was no longer comfortable in my own skin. I just I had a hard time sleeping. I was always in pain, and I was carrying I was 216, and my second son was born with certain physical um, changes, I would love to say, right? So and I felt, once again, I felt as a parent, I felt responsible because I did not look after my health, and I passed on these genes onto my son, and it was a very challenging time for myself and my wife, right? Because obviously at that time, we were, and my wife's a little bit older than me, so and Down syndrome. My youngest sister has Down syndrome, so it definitely stressed us, especially my wife, a lot, just knowing that there's a possibility, right? But no, it's a flip of the coin as well. It's either, you know especially, the woman being at, a more, um, older age, right? That then the possibilities rise, right? So it's a flipping some coins, and it's definitely an experience for my mom and the last two siblings, right? So, like, and I'm the eldest of five, right? And the gap of me and my the fourth was, it's 11 years, right? So definitely, like, my youngest brother, the fourth one, right? You know, he he turned out smart, right? And then, then my younger sister was born, and my mom was devastated, and she went up, and I guess I was, what would that say, 11 years gap. So I would have to say I probably was 13 or 14 at that time. Probably just um and my mom just told me, remember, son, when you always asked, when you were young, you asked me why did all these children have the same looking face, right? Right. And obviously I was young, I didn't know what was the case there, right? So just me being young and curious, right? And and my mom was like, my dad is telling you, my mom found out, she was devastated, right? um but yeah, she said, your younger sister, um she is one of those children, right? I didn't know what that means, right? At the time, right? And just slowly learned about it, and over time and getting older, and it's like, okay, I realized what it was, right? But at the same time, it was a blessing as well, and that definitely united my family together, right? Where sometimes me us and siblings, were at each other's throats, just, but definitely, we definitely came together, just, to as a family, right? It's a blessing as well. But coming back to my situation with my wife, right? It was very stressful, thinking, that might be the case as well, right? And how we would pivot, and but and time will tell, right? So, but we were lucky enough finding out that, especially now he's growing up, that, um, once again, there's some tendencies there, but he loves to learn. Uh, he wants to be a doctor, and yeah, he's self-taught in that regard, and learns the piano and stuff. And sometimes, once again, he was born with certain things, extra digit on his foot, incomplete roof in his mouth, and that was a very stressful time when he was born, because obviously that was in December, and a lot of doctors were on vacation. We didn't understand why he was spewing out milk out of his nose. You would think the OB doctor that was helping in the delivery would have caught that, but especially delivering so many babies, right? But he didn't catch that. He didn't even see the extra digit until my wife noticed that there's six, right? And yeah, he just didn't know, like, he was not keeping the fluids down, right? And we definitely worried and stuff. So, well, we'll fast forward to today, and we're lucky and fortunate enough that uh, he loves learning, he loves teaching himself, and Yeah, so we're lucky in that regards, right? And once again, just I definitely want to look after my health at this point, to be there for him, and now to be there for his oldest brother, who has not been back to high school. He first year of high school, he only attended 6 months, 6 weeks, until he got bullied, and that changed him and changed his reality. And that's why I always say on the end of the challenge, just be kind to one another. You just never know what people are going through, and that's kind of my mission, this year, and for many years, here on out, just to be healthy for him, and wait patiently for him to finally decide to trust, to trust others, to trust society again. And right now he's just definitely has a lot of anger and rage, and just we don't see him daily. He only comes out after midnight when we're all asleep, right, to cook his food, and enough food to last him for the next 24 hours, right? He doesn't even use the washroom. Well, he does his business in his room, and when he comes out at night, he just he replenishes food. He gets rid of his waste, and it's just that is the situation that we're in at the moment, right? For the last, I guess, 17 months. And sometimes, once again, it's you just never know what people are going through. So as much as I do my very best to smile and stay positive, and you know, um, have people to believe in themselves, right? Because at the same time, it's like, you know I do my best to try to believe in myself, as a parent as well, right? And sometimes, we all have that, imposter syndromes that we get to, how can I give this message if even in my own household that there's that's happening, right? So yeah, I mean, it's not easy. You definitely, the meditation, and the skills I've learned through coaching, holistic practices have helped me to just focus on reflecting, and less on reaction, and forgiving as well, right? And definitely last year was a lot of challenge, right? And definitely last year I did not stream a lot, uh, because I was at the point where, like, uh, how can I stream, and while this is happening to my eldest son, right? So I definitely stopped streaming since last summer, right? And but at the same time, I um, put this mission on hold as well, for that. And I'm not, I'm not uh, getting any younger, and that's why I'm making this pivot, at this moment now, before the start of my next 90-day challenge, um, to focus on my North Star again, which is helping the youth, right? Helping the youth, and it's as well tough on them to make decisions, with the certain rules, or with, like, in society, right? As I know there's a lot of youth that want to help, and but our focus is for them is to focus on their education, which is the right thing to do, right? But there's so many ways as well to achieve that education, and we clamp them down into a system that requires certain requirements and prerequisites, and the kids have a lot of different focus and attention and joys in other things, right? And it's they should be able to pursue those things as well, right? And not to worry about academic report cards and whatnot. Just definitely support them in aspects of goal setting and finding out what their interests are, and not limiting them because this is you know engineers make good money, you should be an engineer. Doctors make good money, you should be a doctor, right? And you know put them in a situation that they're chasing their going down a path that in 10 years or whatnot, or when they graduate from college or university, they don't enjoy it. Right? There's a big difference between once we had two streams ago, the difference between a means goal versus an end goal, right? And the means goal is a vehicle to get to the end goals, the destination, right? And being a doctor and engineer, lawyer, whichever profession that you study for the last 5 to 10 years to get a certificate, that it's going to solve um, uh, it's going to be your happiness, right? It is, once again, it's a means goal, it's a vehicle for us to utilize to get to different destinations, right? It's not our be all and end all thing, right? So yeah, that's the thing. I've once again, there's a lot of us who are working in places that we don't enjoy. We just we're working there because we need to put food on the table. We need to have roof over our heads, and just provide the basic necessities we need for ourselves and our family, right? And uh, at the same time, sometimes we dread waking up every morning, right? And and head to work, but at the same time um, we have to shift our focus on why we're doing it. And if if we're responsible for the well-beings of other people, then that's the reason why we need to do what we need to do, right? So, but at the same time, I know there's a lot of us that are feeling unfulfilled, that sometimes at the same time we're we have goals, we have interests, and we have dreams that we put on hold, right? And that's kind of like the reason why I'm making this pivot as well. And I know all my fellow streamers um you know have went down this direction on Twitch to hopefully make it big, and find that find that second income on top of what they're doing. But yeah, it is a long journey, right? And once for myself, it is it's a traffic source as well, right? But if we're expecting Twitch or any streaming platform to uh, provide for us, it's going to be a tough journey, right? And that's why it's very important as well to have your own side hustle, whether it's, like, uh, corn cob girl who makes crochet, right? Or if it's Stephen Poole who, and other in his community like Jedi Dragonfire, who create their own stuff and sell it on Etsy, right? Right, they make more on that on top than what they're doing on their Twitch channel, and that's the thing. Hoping to pivot this channel too, and that was definitely one of my plans last year. But I had to put that on hold to help my eldest son, and that was as of now, I've made my peace on the current situation, and just I need to get back. As my follower Queer Fighting said, uh, especially in the situation, on a plane, you had to put your mask on first before you're able to help the person next to you to put the mask on. So that's probably where I pivot at the moment. Is just I gotta look after my health, and I gotta get back into this this online business again, so that I'll be able to be ready when my son's ready to come out of his room and join us once again, and make a decision for his future, which at this point, anything, right? Anything that he wants to do, um, for himself, for his happiness. As a parent, that's all that we want, is that for them to be happy, and that they're doing something for their life, and that at the end of the day, if we're no longer around, right, that they're okay, they're taken care of. And as parents, all we can do is do our very best to provide them an opportunity to give them a chance, right, and to pursue that chance as well. So yeah, it wasn't easy for me to I thank a few members of my community that I know and trust for to keep me grounded, to keep me real, and also those I've partnered with offline here, who understands my goals and my dreams, and help me out here, right? So once again, things can still be the same. I'll be streaming Marvels. Still be I'll be still sticking to the schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Mondays, Sundays. Even though once again, yesterday definitely was hard to do, as my blood pressure went up, right? But yeah, we'll still be streaming Marvels, but at the same time, I won't be talking too much once again on my health journey here. I'll still be doing it in the background, and bring it up time to time if I've hit any milestones, right? But for especially for my audience, right, it's very important as well that they have that options, right, and they have the opportunity as well. Definitely I want to provide that opportunity for my community and for those communities around us, opportunity to collaborate, work together, and we all want to see each other succeed, right? And we all want to. Once again, this is a space for us, as Shambugi would love to say, distraction therapy, right? But at the same time, wouldn't it be awesome and cool if, as a streamer, that you're able to make a positive impact on someone's life offline, not only just providing this wonderful space uh, on Twitch for them to hang out and escape the everyday grind, right? But at the same time, be able to provide them to a skill to fish, to start their own thing, be able to give them the opportunity to um, provide them the resource for them to have that side hustles, have that second income on top of their main source of income. And once again, just start believing again that uh, have that once again, stress, reduce that stress, having to worry about being paycheck to paycheck, um, and just once again, just having a community once again who understands, right? And once again, we will have to say we're on business on our own, but we're not by ourselves at the same time, right? So having a community who understands, like what we provide new streamers as well, that it's it happens, right? It's we're gonna go through those situations each day, right? And uh, as a new streamer, like it's we love to look at the streamers with the thousands followers, 10,000 followers, and whatnot. Uh, but at the same time, it's nice to collaborate with with the streamers who are the same range as us, and we all help each other. Um, we help push each other up, right? And hopefully that's the channel that I can provide my current followers and future followers, that they can they can dream again, and that not only just dream but start you know taking steps towards that. So yeah, I won't. I was gonna have a 3-day workshop on starting Monday, March 30th, but definitely I'm gonna put that on the pause right now, as I'm trying to learn the space on AI to definitely help me in, once again, a lot of this different situations that I need to just definitely create AI assistance in those ones to just help gather the books, gather the resources that I need, and then at the same time for me to learn gain these skills as well. And definitely once again, I'll be sharing that journey with all of you, and I thank a lot of you for, as always, reaching out and making me laugh, keeping making me smile, and just once again adding, providing that support and that I need to just keep going and and help. And once again, I would love to thank my community once again. It's not a lot, but definitely decided and that I'll donate 50% of the earnings here on Twitch towards a charity, and we were able to donate about $44 US towards Ronald McDonald's house. And once again, that is my goal for the youth. And as we share here once again, one more last time, that once again these are my goals that I've set, the 3 MIQs. It was part of the workshop that I wanted to create for next week, but at the same time, this is what came out, goal setting that I did with my son the other day, 2 days ago, and he has his list, and I have my list here as well. Definitely had to review a few things here, but go through this again. But definitely, you guys are helping me on the end goal here of contributions, right? And I thank my community for letting me be able to, um, live one of my dreams here, and that's contributing. And then the other half, once again, the other half will be put back here to grow the channel, and at the same time as I create a program as well, and helping people start their own online business. Definitely the other 50% will create a scholarship for for those to help them in that aspect, right? So yeah, you guys are helping me achieve my certain goals here, and definitely thank you guys for that. And yeah, it's it'll take time to get this, and I know that like I said, these goals will definitely be I probably not around to complete these ones in person, but at the same time, it's still going even past my life. And that's once again creating something to the point where it takes on a whole new life, and just keeps going. I'm able to help someone even when I'm no longer here. And definitely, once again, that's as a parent, definitely you can rest well knowing that the next generation is taken care of. My kids are taken care of. At the same time, their friends, and I'm definitely not going to leave this up to my kids to take over. If they want to pursue other things in their lives, but at least I create an environment that they too have that option to give back, to contribute, and once again um, be able to provide their kids with that support and that environment that their kids, my grandkids, I guess, are able to have the environment where they can just brainstorm with their friends, and focus on change, right? Positive change, right? So thank you guys, and I'm once again I'm looking forward with renewed vigor and in pursuit here, that I can follow my North Star once again, right? And once again, I'll still be focusing on my health here on out. I'll still be doing my 90 days challenge, and that's still open for anyone who wants to do that as well. But same time, I definitely want to pursue this part where I'm able to help others with starting their own online journey, their own online business as well. I have partnered up with a few people who are able to who are also who created my website as well on coachryanj.com, and then at the same time, creating funnels and whatnot to guide that journey as well. And as myself, I definitely want to focus on um, learning this new skill with AI and be able to implement that as for all of you as well, right? Using AI as well as a coach as well, holistic health and just making life a lot easier, and once again, providing that so we don't have to deal with a lot of stress in the world. All right, thank you so much for joining with me tonight. If this has been helpful, feel free to like and give this video the thumbs up, whichever platform you are watching from. Once again, this is being streamed on 3 different platforms at the same time: YouTube, Facebook, and my wonderful community here on Twitch. So yeah, feel free to follow and subscribe, hit those notification buttons when I go live here. And as always, continue to raise your environment. By raising your environment, you're able to raise yourself. And once you become who you're meant to be, you can finally be that impact for your own environment, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your very own community. An act of kindness can go a long way, and once again, we just never know what people are going through. And once again, for myself, I try my best to stay positive, smile, and have laughs with all of you. But yeah, once again, you guys know my situation as well. Try to be honest and open book as much as possible, right? And once again, I'm as everyone would love to say, on the channel, especially we have those people, streamers who have thousands of people, but we're just everyday people as well, right? Just finding our little space here on Twitch, and just providing that space for once again distraction therapy, but at the same time, I definitely want to take that to a next level by be able to provide change for all of you. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your evening, and definitely will catch you up again for the next stream. Take care, everyone, and thank you for joining me tonight. And once again, Skadu, thank you so much for the raid. Take good care, everyone.